What's going on, Power Wheels world? We are back for show number 8 of the Power Wheels podcast. I'm your host, Lefty the Great, and joining me in the virtual studio this evening is the man from Lyle's 3D Printing, who Alex talked very highly of you. Brian Boucher wanted to get you on her as well. He reached out to you, so glad to have you on the podcast, man. How are you today?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Doing great. Yeah, thank you.
All right, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're located, and yeah, where you're located and how you kind of got into all of this stuff.
Okay, yeah. I was born and raised here in Indiana. Went to the Marine Corps for 13 years. Got hurt. Ended up coming back to help my mom out when my dad passed, and had my young boys with me. And then at that time they had Power Wheels, so we we just continued to want to build those, and there wasn't a whole lot out there. So
Mm.
we started playing around with RC cars. Then I was like, wait a minute, we could probably take these and do this. And before you know it, I had a C7 with a brushless eighth scale Mamba motor set up in it and a linear actuator in the front. So that led to wanting more. So then we ended up with a Dodge Ram. I built an entire frame for it and put it on air. And then after that, my son was like, "Well, what else can we do? I want some wheels." And I was like, "Well, I don't know how to do wheels." And then I saw an ad somewhere. I want to say it was probably YouTube, and I was like, "You know what? I need one of those things." I was like, $500. I need one of those. So I bought it, and I was like, "I don't know how to use this." So I went back to school and used the GI Bill from the Marine Corps. Went back to school. They paid for it all, and uh, just been doing it ever since, man.
Well, first off, thank you for your service in the Marine Corps. We
Absolutely. Thank
greatly
you.
appreciate that. I had no idea you was an RC guy or into RC prior to this. Like, how deep
Yeah.
into RC?
Yeah, not super deep, but we built a few. We played around with the Arma and the Traxxas.
Okay, so more like bashing then.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's the big segment of RC racing. All right. How old are your boys now?
So the oldest one is 13, and
Okay.
then the youngest is 8.
So they're kind of is the 8-year-old still into Power Wheels, or has he moved
So
on?
he likes it. We're working on a dune racer because he can't fit in a C7 anymore. So
Okay. All right. So I assume this started a few years ago then.
yeah, like 2017, a
Okay.
few
Well,
years
cool.
ago.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been doing this for quite some time. Almost, well, it's 8, it's 2025. So my math sucks. 8 years. Um, okay. All right. So Power Wheels got you back to school.
Yeah.
So what did
Oh
you go
yeah.
to study when you went back to school?
So when I was in the Marine Corps, I was an engineer.
Mhm.
Then halfway through, I switched jobs before I got hurt and ended my career early to work on electronics. And so I was an air defense technician. So I initially went back to school for comm. And a couple weeks into that, I was like, I don't really want to do that. And met this guy in the cafeteria. He was talking to me about like modding cars and stuff and designing these parts. And I got hooked. And he ended up being an instructor there, and that's how I ended up in the program. So I went and enrolled in the design program, and that's how that I mean,
So
been doing it ever since.
so is Lounge your full-time job, or do you have a, I like to say, a real world job, as I like to say,
Oh,
like,
okay. Yeah, no, I do this every day. I design and 3D print every single day. I, um I have gotten a few nice recognitions, and invites to places and able to, expand my knowledge. So,
okay.
for example, I live, very close to Purdue University,
Mhm.
and I got an invite there, it was like a year, maybe a year, 2 years ago, to a workshop for, additive manufacturing, and the stuff I learned there was fabulous, and I mean, you just we all look for those tips and tricks, and that's what they gave me.
Okay. So, are you doing the Power Wheels stuff full time, or are you producing other things in the 3D printing world?
Power Wheels keeps me busy,
Mhm.
for the most part. I do a lot of custom other parts, behind the scenes. I don't, share a lot of it, but, um, I have been working on a Fiat, and, I've got a since Fiats are Italian and they canceled the building of Fiats here in the States, I've got a lot of requests to make parts because they're,
Really?
hard to find.
Really? Interesting. Interesting stuff, man. 3D printing has come so far very
Mhm.
fast. Very fast. Which is good. I probably want to address back to that. When you first got started in the 3D printing, compared to now, what are some of the things that have changed over the, I would say, the 8 years that you've been doing this?
Oh my gosh. The biggest thing is consistency and speed. The
Mhm.
2 things that will drive you wild. I mean, the speed we went from printing at if you were printing at 40, 50 millimeters a second, you were fast. To
Mm.
now, you print 40, 50 millimeters a second, you are unheard of. You're legend.
Mhm.
You're just you're old school type, but now we're printing, 2, 300 millimeters a second.
I remember, my first 3D. I've never done it, but I remember I bought a 3D printed RC car stand, and I'll never
Mm.
forget, I was like, "Ah, this isn't the best finish," because it was very rough, it was, like, lines all over it, but I was like, "That's it's pretty cool." I mean, the latest 3D printed thing I have is this little doll that my buddy ran off. It's a doll, it's a action figure of one of our buddies, right? And
Oh, very cool, okay.
I was surprised how much better it is, like, and we see a lot of 3D printing in the RC world. A lot of the manufacturers use it to mock up parts and try things. This is just so much cheaper than building molds and all that type of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but I mean, you've taken it to another level, and I mean, it's great that you've kind of made this as your job, as your real full time job.
Yep.
I never
I appreciate that, thank you.
I never would have thought that 3D printing would be so beneficial to many other things, but I would think, yeah, Fiat's not making car parts no more. People you can print off, I'm sure, like door handles and I don't know, whatever, like inlays and
Yeah,
cup
I mean,
holders and all that stuff.
sound bar holders that they don't make anymore.
Mm,
I did that
yeah,
actually a month ago.
yeah, all right. So, but you got started printing stuff with the Power Wheels, I
Right,
would
yep,
think.
that's what got me
Okay.
into it.
So, what were some of the first things that you printed off for the Power Wheels?
Oh, yeah, so we tried to print a wheel,
Okay.
and, me and my son did. So I of course, I unboxed this 3D printer and I'm like, well, what's out there in the world that I can use to make this? And
Mhm.
I found a software online that was free. And so we were like, let's tinker with it. And it was I was like, oh, well, this is called Tinker CAD. So let's try let's try it. And so we made a wheel and we were like, okay, so this works. It's not the greatest and there's no traction whatsoever. So we went to, the store and got that, Flex Seal stuff,
Yes.
and we sprayed the outside
Mm.
and I had used it for years on the RC car bodies to make them flexible, where you can
Mhm.
bash them without breaking them as many times, and, uh, and so we tried that and it worked, but, I mean, it wasn't where it's at today.
Okay. All right. And so how did the progression go from there? Like what did you start to do to keep you into this? And then how did it develop into a business for you?
Yeah, so, after we, did the wheel, then it kinda kicked off with, my son wanting the air suspension and, and everything, so I was like, "Oh, man, where can we really use this kinda stuff?" So, little mounts, like I was talking about the TV mount earlier, little
Mhm.
mounts for mounting wires, and, we took a train horn set that Viair makes, back when I built an S10 that had air suspension, And so we grabbed one of those train horn kits since we knew that Viair was a good company. And we took all the valves that we used and everything. And instead of just zip tying it, we made little mounts and stuff to place all over. And then that led into um, making different things, making engines, making nitrous bottles. And the engine was a big hit. People wanted the realistic look.
Look, I'm looking on your website for it, for the engine, if you
Oh,
have it
yeah,
on there.
that's progressed too over the years. Now
Oh,
it's,
yeah?
yep,
Should I look on Facebook for it
uh,
better?
it's under the C7, the Corvette,
Okay, I'll go find it.
and
Uh,
actually, so Alex was the one who reached out to me about it, and
mm.
he's like, "How cool would this be if we could take that engine and we could just put it in here?" And I said, "Wait, there's more. We totally can do that."
Hold on, I got it right here, I'll bring it up.
Alright.
So, I assume this is the drop-in engine we're talking about?
Yeah, it is. Yep,
Here we are. Oh,
that's
wow.
it.
That looks cool.
The belt is rubber on there, the, motor mounts are rubber.
And you can have it color coordinated to your car. Ah, that's cool. Wow. How long does something like that take to, print out?
It used to take, about a week and a half, 2 weeks, but now, I can have it done in just about heck, if I'm using all these printers, I can have it done in just a day or 2.
Okay.
If
And
yeah, if I can use all 4 printers, that is.
okay, okay. Alright. Yeah, the printers have to keep going because that's when they're making money, right?
Very
You
true.
got they gotta keep on going. Alright, so you made the engine, and then what was I know what I heard mostly people talking about are your gearboxes.
And then
And,
yeah.
me yeah, maybe you can run us through that. How did that? Because that's where a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of pressure, a lot of wear and tear on these vehicles are, right? Because they
Mhm.
have to withstand a lot of just a lot of abuse. So, I mean, I'm amazed that we have 3D printed gearboxes. I'm gonna be honest with you. So maybe run us through how that all came about and how you've been managed to make them stand up to like or better or stand up to production
Mhm.
products.
Okay, yeah, so we started with a very, very, and I say very, very rough, prototype, and, so I tried some other things, and it wasn't what we were looking for because of weight. It worked, and
Mhm.
it was smooth, but the weight was not the trade-off we were looking for, um, so then I got Alex to send me, the gearbox and everything that he wanted, to give it a test, and so he sent it to me, and I 3D scanned it and built basically a replica of, the gearbox itself, and then I added my, my tweaks from my experience into that gearbox of where it needed to be stronger and just the materials that really needed to be used, and, sometimes things, they sound good on paper, but in
Mhm.
real world, they don't hold up, and that's what we found, um, over time is that, like, okay, well, this box is great, the design is great, and the relocation of the gears, if I didn't tell someone, they probably wouldn't even notice,
Mm.
because the gears that I make, you can put them in the OEM box, but it's a very, it's a looser fit
Okay.
because, there's some things that were changed around with that box, but you can't put the OEM gears inside this new box.
Okay. I understand. So when did this come about? Because how long have you known Alex now?
So I've known Alex since, last October.
Okay, so this is recent with the gearboxes and all this type of stuff.
Right, yep. This is actually, so this is what we call the turbo box, and
Mhm.
it's geared toward, pun intended, it's geared toward the modified class.
Mm. So, what makes this? What are some of the? Can you talk about some of the modifications that you made to withstand the power of the modified cars?
So in the gears themselves, we made them lighter, and that was actually we were bouncing around ideas off a few guys, and then oh, who was I think it was Brian. Yeah, Brian. That was like, well, what if we tried this? And I was like, oh my gosh, like that is such a great idea. I had been thinking about that and talking, but never really hopped on it, so to speak. And
Mhm.
we pulled the sword out of the stone and just kept going with it. Um, and so far, it's been really good. So we have this is the latest rendition with it has the holes for lightweight. And the awesome thing about this is that these holes they make it lightweight, but the way that it's printed, it doesn't lose any structural strength at all.
Mm.
The bearings that we use inside, we changed those as well. And so we've been through, oh my gosh, 3 or 4 different styles of boxes over the years to where we are now. And these boxes, they're strong. They're
Mm.
they're strong like a pair of brass knuckles, so to speak. Like you could, man, they're tough.
Okay, so
And
they're holding up to all the power of the modified cars then.
so
No problem.
yeah, they're pretty stout to say the least. So there's actually I can't tell you exactly what they are, but there's 3 different materials inside of the gearbox. The gearbox itself is one material, it's reinforced. Um, and then the second gear is reinforced, and then the third gear is just it's not reinforced. The third and fourth gear is not, but all of them are. So there's different tiers, and you might have seen it on my Instagram where I posted the different tiers of 3D printing and stuff. And so at the bottom uh, you have like your PLAs and stuff and ABSs that certain ABSs are like what's in your cars, and then as you go up, you get into this other tier like engineering and prototype. Well, then you jump up another one, and now you're in the high performance grade materials. That's where we're sitting with these gearboxes, and and then besides that, then you got one more tier to be in the top tier, and that's those are your production grade materials. So it's been good. It's been really good, but unless you have a, very expensive and very large injection molded machine, producing those is it's very hard to do it at a smaller scale, like even a medium scale, really.
Okay, I understand. So, I guess that's more for people who are probably doing this on a bigger scale, as in, like, for full car production, any type of thing that where they need that type of stuff, where I'm assuming that these machines cost thousands of dollars, probably tens of thousands of dollars that they're using?
About half a million. they're
Okay.
they're expensive.
Okay, so this is like NASA stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, because I knew a guy who worked oh, man, where did he work? And he kept saying he had, access to these high-tech half a million well, yeah, he probably said that, probably can't remember where he was working. Wow, that's impressive, dude. That's impressive. I wonder how the industry got to that so fast, $500,000 3D printing machines.
Oh, they're impressive. When I went to that workshop at Purdue, they had one that was printing Kevlar,
Really?
and it looked like spider silk. It was so thin, but it was so neat when it was done. It was a so it they printed a part that was infused. It had Kevlar just tracing the very outer lining, and
Mhm.
then the rest of the part was ABS plastic.
Hmm,
But if you were to compare the 2, just that simple lining made that part so much stronger, you could feel it in your hands.
really?
you went from being able to kind of bending it to
Mhm.
not at all.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
It is, yes,
That's pretty impressive.
absolutely.
So I guess my you I don't think you could be able you can't obviously make it to that level because you don't have a $500,000 machine.
Correct.
Right. But I guess my next question would be when you was designing the gearboxes, was it instant success or did you have to go through many trials and errors to get it right? Like, and I guess who was testing this for you and doing all this type of stuff?
So I wish it was a one and done,
Mhm.
but it wasn't. Alex was helping me out with testing the gears and gearboxes, and oh my, we destroyed a lot of plastic, and and then we went from being able to finally we got a set that was like, oh, the modified set is perfect, and so we're like, "Sweet, we finally got to that point." And, so then I just went ahead and just overkilled it on the box. I already had a material that, it prints over 600 degrees, Fahrenheit,
Mm.
and, so I already had it picked out and aligned because I knew the box, but not the gears, and, uh, and so once we got that really hashed out, then it's like, "Oh, this is it." It's like, I'm let's incorporate the best of both worlds, Let's make this strong box, but let's incorporate your gear plate to the back as well because now we not only have infused plastic that is very high heat and resistant to it, but it's also chemically resistant. So you can use your Molly and fortified lubes, and then uh, we put this gear plate on the back, and now we're extracting heat away from the motors, but adding
Mhm.
even another layer of strength if we should need it.
Yeah, it's I was looking, it's a metal gear plates, right? That I think I went on the link, it goes to ML Toys and you get these as
Right?
well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's awesome, man. I'm amazed at it, to be honest, because in the RC world, I asked this question to
Mhm.
somebody a few weeks ago on one of my other podcasts. I said, "How close are we to having a fully 3D printed car? Okay, we have an aluminum chassis, but all the other plastic parts 3D printed that
Mhm.
is competition capable that can withstand, because what we do is off-roading, so it's like motocross, supercross. So we're jumping, we're whipping,
Mhm.
scrubbing, crashing. Everybody's crashing out there except if you're a professional." And they were like, "It's uber close. Like we can do it." And I'm looking at this, and this is carrying a lot more weight. Okay, maybe it's not having the hits like falling from 35 feet in the air and slamming on the ground and stuff like that. But I mean, it's pretty impressive to see that these gearboxes can hold up to the punishment that they have to go through.
Yeah, no, it really is. I mean, I was talking the other day, and I was just thinking, like, what an impressive day to be alive. Like
I know.
everything we wanted as kids, we can now buy for our kids, and then everything we thought about as kids, we can now do for our kids. So it's like, if oh, you broke the part, give me 10 minutes, I'll make you another one, So it's amazing, and the speeds that are being achieved with these cars are just absolutely crazy. I mean, we're talking like almost as fast as junior dragsters in a Power Wheel. Like,
I
oh
know.
my gosh.
I like that you talked about a brushless car because that's Brian's big thing. He wants everybody to get on the brushless tip because we come from RC and we know how
Right,
good
yeah.
brushless is and the ESCs are. Some people are against it. Some people are for it.
Mhm.
You made one. That's pretty cool. But it's a lot more torque. It's a lot more power. You can adjust
Oh,
things in
yeah.
the ESC. So you got to have those gearboxes and parts to be able to withstand that. So have you tried out any of your gearboxes on brushless cars? And I'm sure Brian's got them because he's got a brushless car, right?
I, uh I actually have not tried a brushless setup on these gearboxes, just
Okay.
the brush. But I will say the brushless setup that I built on the OEM box, oh my,
Oh, yeah.
It destroyed. I mean, it was fun while it lasted, but oh my gosh, when you said power, I was like, that's an understatement.
Dude, it
We
literally changed our industry, like, in electric racing. It that and LiPo batteries just
mhm.
completely changed, RC racing for the better. So, for electric anyway. But 3D printing is becoming really popular. I even talked to a guy the other day, and he made I was telling you this, a 3D printed aluminum motor mount. Now that completely blew my mind. Like, I didn't know we could
Oh, that's
3D
so
print
awesome.
aluminum. I didn't even know how that works.
Yeah, so I don't know aluminum, but, I've got stainless steel down here on the shelf, um, and so when you I know how it works, so when you print it, it comes into like they call them green and brown states. Basically, you print it, you clean it up, you send it out to be sintered, and once it gets finished, it's a hardening process. It goes into another, machine or whatever, I don't know, I think it is kind of like a kiln, I'm not exactly sure.
Mm,
I just read about the process, I've never seen it actually done, but,
mm.
yeah, this when you get it back, the filament, it can be welded, it can be, like, sanded just like metal.
Hmm,
The
that's
only
impressive.
thing you have to account for with, 3D printing is that it shrinks roughly 125%, so you gotta make them
Oh,
bigger.
right. Oh, wow, that's a big percentage of shrinkage.
So oh, yeah, yeah, because they got a specific heat cycle to harden the steel.
I never even thought of that. Alright. I never even thought of that. So are you like so being as this is your job,
Mhm.
like podcasting is my job. So I geek out on podcasting stuff. Are you like geeking out on printers and latest technology and I don't know, going to conventions that deal with this or anything like that?
Oh my gosh, I try to stay up with as much as I can, and, and, I don't consider myself as like, the master guru, but the people that I think that are, I keep close to them because a lot of them, a lot of the conventions and stuff are happening in Europe, believe it or
Mm,
not. And, and so I see oh my gosh, I see the stuff that goes on there. And I'm like drooling, like, just like, oh, I need one of those. It's like, "Oh, 30K?" Like, like, it's like, "I still want one though." Like,
okay, got you. So there can all so you have so the machines that I see behind you, how many do you have running or how many machines do you have in total in your shop?
so total I have, let's see, 4, 5, and then, I had 6, but my fiance, she said that she needed one, so I lost 1 there. So
She needed one. She
yeah,
needed a 3D printer.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alright,
Hey,
I'm gonna bring
she loves it.
oh, that's even better, dude. That's even better.
She makes
Oh
those little, flexible animals, so
oh, really?
yeah.
Dude, I would think also I'm an action figure collector, and we're starting to see more
Oh,
yeah, we're starting to see more 3D printing in that industry. So I've bought a few I collect old GI Joes. I
okay.
did, right?
Yep.
So I've got
Oh, my man. I loved GI Joes when I was growing up. So
right, like, we're talking about the '80s ones with the
yep.
3 point and then, uh, I was shocked when I would buy a vehicle and it have some broken part, a part that broke quite frequently back in
Hmm.
the '80s. They have it all 3D printed now. Like, you get 3D printed missiles and bombs and skids, helicopter blades. It so so, yeah, I get it. Like, I
Heck
really do
yeah.
get it, like, now. And, we're seeing whole 3D printed, uh, vehicles and stuff now.
Hmm.
Like, so wow. It's amazing. We are living in a great time because imagine that, like,
Yeah,
just
we are.
anybody can do that. And you could have a 3D printer in your I have a 3D printer right there. Just
Yep.
going, like, as a hobby and make myself my own thing.
Sure
That's pretty
can.
amazing. That's pretty amazing. I'm gonna bring up a product here. I
Okay.
want you to talk about it. It's your slick tires, and
Oh man, yes.
yeah, this looks pretty cool. And it says, "Rubber slicks work with rubber slicks." So is this rubber? Is this plastic? I'm
It
confused.
is. It's a thermoplastic rubber.
Oh,
And so I use 4 different hardnesses. And there was one that just came out that I've been playing around with, but it really it's got some room to grow still. But it's so expensive. I don't think it's gonna catch on just yet.
Mhm.
But um, but this type definitely has, and it's rubber. It's flexible. It I mean, it can take a beating. I mean,
And it's
you can
hollow inside these wheels, right? It's not
so
solid.
it's not solid, but it's not hollow.
Oh,
There's a certain pattern that I have in there, so that way it allows it to flex, but it
mhm.
allows it to stay strong, and it still allows you when your kid sits in it, it still gives it a little bit of, depending on how much they weigh, of course, gives a little bit of give just like an actual slick, so but they
'Cause
are
it
airless.
okay, because so we see this in the RC and in the crawling industry, like the RC crawling, they make
Mhm.
3D printed, uh 'cause you would use foam inside of there, so they make 3D printed inserts to go inside the tires, and they're like a honeycomb
Oh,
shape.
okay.
So they're like
Yeah.
honeycomb, and and then you can buy some people want the tires to flex a little bit more to grip and all that type of stuff. So when you said that these have a design inside of them, it makes sense, right? That
Right,
is
yeah.
that's the support. You can't just have a hollow tire. It you can, but that's support. It's almost like a shock system. It's like putting the foam in an RC car tire. That's pretty cool. That to me is very cool. I didn't even know they had racing slicks. Jesus. When did this all start with the, racing slicks and all that type of stuff?
Oh, man, it wasn't that long ago. How long has it been? Maybe just a few months. And, oh gosh, how did I don't even know how I came about that. I, yeah, no, I remember I heard guys talking about using foam, and then I went out to Fast Life Fest and, hung out with Alex and his great crew out there,
Mhm.
and I literally saw these kids ripping it down the 60-foot and foam going
Just
everywhere,
flying.
just shredding it. And, so after I came back, so that would put me about, beginning of June. I started designing those and I was like, let's do something to make it better." And, so made those and then since that Alex and, Justin down in Texas, um, I was like, we could not make the slick, but we could also make the wheel as a star. Like, the stars down in Texas. I mean, they're everywhere. So um, I was like, we'll do that. And so Alex got the very first set. And I'm not even kidding you. I was biting at the bit to get these done so bad. He was on the road driving, and I told him, I was like, I need the address to the place you're going. And I mailed them, overnight to him. So he would have
Really?
to. Yeah, yeah, and so he could check them out because I was so excited. I was like, "I have to show someone."
That's cool, man, that's cool. Um, are you starting so, what is most of your business? Is it mostly racing, or is it like, I would say fathers that wanna make cool Power Wheels?
It's a little of both, actually.
Mhm,
A lot of it is definitely racing
mhm,
related for sure. Um, a lot of the guys that aren't racing related, they are more like, "Hey, I don't know, but I keep having this problem with these gears. Can you help me out?" And, for example, just this week, I shipped out a set that I made a guy. He had a Dodge Ram, and he had straight cut gears. Well, I just happened to have one of those gearboxes. So I took it apart and I asked him, I was like, "Is it this gearbox that you have?" And he was like, "Oh, that's it." I was like, "Oh, I have something I've been working on already." And, so he was like, "But here's the catch. I have the ML Toys metal first gear and I would like to keep it." And I said, "Okay." It's like, "Well, give me just a little bit." And when I got back to him, it took me, I don't know, just a few hours, and I threw together a whole new, gear set for him to specifically use that metal. So, he went from a straight cut gear to a helical gear, which
Mm.
is basically the slants,
Mhm, mhm.
and, but that second gear is a hybrid on, on the bottom threads, it matches with the steel, and then on top is how it gets into that helical, but he
Ah,
he needed the extra loading capability. That's why we got away from the straight cut. Now,
got you.
um, straight cuts are good for performance and like race cars and stuff, but if you got a Dodge Ram and you're trying to put some weight on there, I mean, you you gotta match accordingly, I guess, so
So you do one-off stuff as well, like,
I
for
do a
people?
lot of
Yeah,
custom stuff, yeah.
got you, got you. Man, I was gonna it's kinda I was blown away when I because 'cause I'm knowing Alan for a few years through RC, and then
Oh, okay, yeah.
I found out about ML Toys, and I had to sit down and I say, "Hey, is this a hobby of yours or something?" And it's like, "No, it's my full-time business." And now we're here. Now we're here doing this podcast. So that's impressive, dude. What are probably one of your more popular uh what products that people like to buy?
It's probably, right now, it's starting to transition to more the drag racing stuff, but, it has been the deep dish wheels where
Mm,
you take the cake pans or, a lot of people call them dog bowls, but I if unless you have a dually, the cake pan's a better route, and, but yeah, just making the inserts, putting it inside the cake pan, and then giving it that deep dish cake pan, or deep dish wheel for the kids. Have you seen some of the pictures that I have shared? Like, there's some killer ones out there because cake pans are aluminum.
okay.
So I had a gentleman who he was like, "I'm gonna send these to a machine shop and they're gonna polish them for me." They look just like chrome wheels.
Really?
I was so blown away. I couldn't even believe it.
I'm trying to find her on your website. You said cake pans?
Yeah, they're cake pans. And
So
I always recommend the Fat Daddy-O ones because, they're stronger. And, I when I first started doing those things, I went to Walmart and I was like, "I'm about to get these things real cheap," and then get home and find out that the diameter is supposed to be 8, but they're actually like 6 and 3 whatever, like, this ain't even close. So, but
all right, so I'm looking for it'll be on the ride on toy upgrades under deep dish wheel inserts
oh, shoot, you know what? No, I think I
on your
think I think I shared those on, it was a throwback I did to, there was a ruby red Mercedes
Okay,
that
well, I'll
I
tell you what, I'm looking at these right here.
Mhm.
I can't show it, but it's some gearboxes, and they look like polished aluminum that you just shared on Facebook. Like, if I didn't know that was 3D printed, I would swear that's aluminum. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah, some of this plastic, some of it has a very matte finish, and then,
Mhm.
a lot of it, once it's done, because it prints so high in the temperature ranges that, it'll come off with a nice gloss.
Dude, you got wings. Stop it. I'm going through your, uh I'm going through your Facebook for Lyle's 3D printing. You got
Okay, yeah.
wings, you got spoilers.
So oh, yeah. That's the oh my gosh, that is, so I got chatting with Alex one day and we were talking about, like, if we could make a spoiler, what would the best one be? And so we ended up finding the Corvette GTR Hunter wing, and, I was like, "I'm about to make that." So I spent an evening and made that design, and, I made him one, sent it to him, and I got one here I still need to finish, but,
Wow.
so since they're so big, we have to, section them into pieces,
Mm,
and then I put, just like the drag slicks, the drag slicks are 3 pieces,
okay.
and then,
Wow.
you gotta put metal inserts and stuff in it, for the screws and everything. So
Dude, how so I guess my next question would be, how long does this all take you to do? How do you come up with these ideas? Probably a better question.
so sometimes, and my fiance hates it. Um, she sometimes I just wake up in the middle of the night and I'll have an idea. I started to have to write them down because I started before I would get up and I would start designing it. And she'd be like, I have to be at work early. I was like, sorry.
Mhm,
She's like, do you even sleep? And I'm like, sometimes. And so, and then other times it's from bouncing ideas off of
mhm,
like not just other gentlemen, but other dads, because I remember why I did it. And
mhm.
why I even started doing it was that smile. It was that gratification of that smile of making your child so daggone happy, and it was so genuine that it just, like, pierced your heart. And
Yep. Yeah,
oh, go
sorry, go
ahead.
ahead. No, I was just I was looking through your pictures, sir.
Oh, that's okay. I was gonna, finish that up with when I was at Fast Life Fest, there was a girl that came up to me and she said, "Hey, Lyles, thanks for the sweet wheels, man." Man, I'm
No
telling you,
way!
that's what makes me continue to love doing it.
A little girl came up and said that to you?
So, yeah, a little racer out there. She
Awesome.
was so happy.
Dude, this looks wicked. Look at this. It looks like aluminum.
Oh, yeah, I can print some of the plastics that are very, very shiny,
Wow.
but,
That's impressive, dude. I'm impressed with all of this stuff.
yeah,
Very impressive.
I never would have guessed years ago that we'd be where we are today. If you would
Dude,
have
I
told me,
never
I would have said, "No."
dude, I woulda never thought I'd be doing a podcast about I didn't know
Well, you're
modifications
killing
of
it.
Power Wheels didn't exist. I didn't know it existed till last year, to be honest.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah, so but, it's the same. RC is very people don't know we race, you know? We don't
Right,
people
yeah.
don't know that we race and there's a whole industry around it. They know the RC cars they can pick up or Traxxas and Arma and stuff like that, but they don't know about, like, the market that I'm in. Wow. So, I guess my next question I'm not gonna keep you too long. I wanted to keep this at 45 minutes. What do you think the future holds for the Power Wheels with 3D printing? And then my last question would be, what can we expect from 3D printing, period, in the next 10 years?
Oh, yeah, those are really good questions, and, I think about those a lot. So that first one was, where are we going? And, like, 3D printing wise, I feel like we're on the verge of, um, getting closer to I have been following the market of the replicas, people making full Lamborghini replicas for kit cars, and, I think we're getting close to doing that for the Power Wheels. Now, I know there are people out there that they have found and they've scaled like a picture, but I'm talking custom, one-off, like, this is a full build. I'm not just taking a shell and sliding it over the top. I'm talking just all out. This is where we're at. This is how we're going to build it. And I could see that. I could see that there being a kit. So you know how when you buy a model
Mhm.
and you're about to build this car, well, guess what? When we print bigger things, we section it and we send it to them in pieces, and then they assemble it. And
Mm,
there are different ways to identify which part goes to what, and even make mounting tabs. So I really feel that that's where we're going with that, to give the enthusiasts um, more options for bodies, because I seen it, shoot, what, 3 times today. Hey, does anyone know if the McQueen and C7 are discontinued?
mm.
So it's it's gaining traction more and more each day, and I feel like that's gonna drive it. And then, and then as far as, like, where we're going, like, with, in 3D printing in the future, oh, man, let me just throw a few things out there. We're building houses now, 3D printing with cement, um, in a large scale. We're building replacement, body pieces. We're making, different items like ears and different skin grafts
Great.
for our yeah, for our veterans too. Um, and a lot of it is getting really developed in the prosthetic department, because that's something we've really, I mean, think about it, like an
Mhm.
amputee, he's been with the same cast style for, heck, maybe a little change here and there, but now you can literally 3D scan a person's knee and build them whatever you want that is directly influenced by that scan, and it matches up with them exactly 100%. It's not a universal fit. And so with that being said, that leads us to other medical stuff like like the syringes and stuff. They're talking resin printing and all that. So resin printing, I mean, heck, you could resin print some tubes for syringes in no time and do it on a large scale. And you would have a hospital that would never be out of syringes. They could, because they could make their own. They could almost be a standalone. And and then what else would be another one? Speaking of cars, let's finish on that one. I don't know about the car, but I was watching this build of a 3D printed boat, and it, no kidding, it held up. It floated in the water. It held up. They tested it. I mean, and it was like a little just like a, I don't even know what you call it, like a, just a little John boat type deal,
Like an actual boat?
an actual boat.
No, but I could see that. I
Yeah.
can see that. I can see that.
I was like, oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
they just
amazing.
did it all in one piece.
Wow. Incredible. I saw a 3D printed RC boat they built in sections, and it looked pretty cool. So, yeah, I'm sure the sky's the limit with this stuff. I just when you said car body parts, I was like, "Yeah, maybe you can't get a quarter panel, but you could get
Oh,
one 3D
yeah.
printed." And,
Yep. I
I mean, it's no different from fiberglass or
I
what they
know.
sell, so
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna, the for the Fiat, I'm gonna, yeah, I scanned the front, I'm gonna build a bumper for it because they don't make anything for that car anymore. So, if you want anything, you gotta go to Europe. So, I'm gonna build a, bumper for it, and I know when I say that, it's gonna open the door, because I made that wide body kit for the
mhm,
C7. I know you saw the wing, but there's a wide body kit that goes with it too. Um,
really,
yeah, and it's pretty sick.
that's
So,
badass, man.
I'll have
That's
to get
wicked.
one finished so everybody can see it. It is pretty sick.
Sweet, man. Well, I I I'm excited. I wasn't sure how this conversation was gonna go, but I really enjoyed it because I
Oh,
learned
yeah,
a lot
same.
about 3D printing and what you got going on. I'm very impressed that you're able to do this full time and that you're able to sustain yourself with this. That's even better. So congratulations on that. And I can see why people always mention your name and saying things. So uh, I love it, man. I love it. It's really interesting. Like it's piqued my interest. I'm gonna talk about this on my RC podcast,
Heck yeah.
right? So I guess we'll let people know how they can get a hold of you. You can go to Lyle's 3D Printing. They got them on Facebook, you got Instagram, you got TikTok.
Mhm.
Obviously, you have a website. I'll leave links for those in the written description of this podcast. And dude, I'll be following, and hopefully, yeah, I don't know. We stay in touch now. We know each other, so I'll be interested to see what other cool things you come up with. Not just Power Wheels, though. And I might have to get you to make something for me in the RC world at some point. We'll see how that goes. But
Oh, yeah.
good stuff, man. I really enjoyed this conversation. I thank you for your time, and thank you what you're doing for the Power Wheels community. I'm sure I think everybody appreciates it, especially that young girl who came up and said, I really like the wheels.
Yes.
Cool. All right,
Absolutely.
everybody. This is Lyle from Lyle's 3D Printing, and you are watching the Power Wheels podcast. Thank you, Lyle.
Thank you.
Are you looking to take your ride-on car to the next level? ML Toys makes it easy with plug-and-play modifications like motors, speed and brake controls, and more. ML Toys is the one-stop shop to make your ride-on car the coolest car in the neighborhood.
Welcome back, Alan from ML Toys with some new products for all you Power Wheels modificators out there in the world. What we got going on today, Alan?
Hey, nice to see you, Lefty. We got 4 new exciting things to announce today. I'm going to start off with what's in front of me here. So first off is this setup here. This is for 4-wheel drive ride-on cars, 24-volt 4-wheel drive ride-on cars specifically. We, as you know from earlier podcasts, we've been working with Ryder Toys on their car. And as soon as we tried to add any more power to it, the electronics just wouldn't handle it at all. So first thing we had to do was design a new speed control for it. So this looks identical, similar, I guess I should say, to the original one. All your plugs fit right in. And this is for the Ryder 4-wheel drive and any of those 24-volt 4-wheel drive chassis. Everything will plug right into it directly. So it's all internal changes on it and programming changes. And we're going to sell this as an individual piece. Just some people, if you blow your stock speed controller and just want to put a better quality stock one in and you're not upgrading your car, you can just do that with this. But if you want to add more power, then you'll also add 4 of our Performance 550 motors to it that have the right pinion gears with it and the connectors with it. It's very easy to install. You do need to change the circuit breaker on the car. And they make this really easy on that chassis right next to where the battery sits. This is just pushed down and plugged in. Most people don't even know what it is. This is a circuit breaker, and we went to a 35 amp breaker. The stock one, I think it was only like 15 or something like that. So we'll have all these components on the website that you'll be able to get more speed into your 4-wheel drive. This is the most speed you can add to those cars until hopefully the end of this summer when we have a new gearbox for it that'll accommodate a 775 size motor. Then we can really start upping the power more. But these are the most powerful 550s made today, and that stock gearbox won't take any more yet. So this is a good progress for modifying 4-wheel drive cars.
Yeah, absolutely. I was you was keeping me updated while you was working on the Ryder cars, and you was telling me some of what you felt were the weak points. And that looks like a very easy step-by-step, easy modification, and that anybody can really do if they got some tools.
Yeah, I don't think this will take you maybe half hour, 45 minutes tops to install. No magic involved. You unplug the old stuff, plug in the new stuff. Honestly, the hardest thing is opening the hood on that car. Like I had to call Ryder Toys and go, yo, how do I get into the hood? You just have to pull really, really hard. It will pop free, but there's no bolt holding it. Just pull it open.
Absolutely. All right. Well, shout out to Nick as well. If you want to learn more about Ryder Toys, we do have a podcast where we interviewed him. It was actually a very good chat with him. I need to reach out to him, see how things are going. But I'm more excited that there's big cans to the left of you because they caught my eye right away.
Very excited by these. These just came in yesterday for full sale production. We actually designed these motors last year, but they have to go through the R&D process, and we put out God, I don't remember how many hundred in beta testing. Not a single one failed in beta testing. We sent them to drag racers, smash up derby people, backyard users in Alaska, in Texas. We wanted them to hit, all the possible types of use. What we've done, this is actually a new manufacturer. This is the same company that makes our 550 motors. One of the things I've always enjoyed is we've had 2 different manufacturers of motors that we work with competing with each other to help us make a better motor. I think that always helps. So this motor now is full ball bearings. Instead of a bronze bushing on the end, we have ball bearings on each end. That, if you change nothing else on a motor, that makes the motor higher RPM. That makes the motor run cooler. It makes it more efficient. It gives you more run time. Ball bearings are the key, man. Fletch was right. We've got our cooling fans inside. We changed the fans from the other motors to create less resistance. We find these 775s don't overheat very readily. So we were probably overcooling the old motors. Again, the right fan means less resistance in the motor, more power. And then there's a lot of other internal changes in the motor to give them more top speed, because we knew our other motors were fast and not failing. So we want faster and not failing. These are the bomb. These are going to change not just the drag race world, but even backyard bash. And the price isn't changing. We're keeping the price the same as the last round of motors, even though you're getting the ball bearings and all the other new tech and new goodies. So these are awesome new motors that we got.
I have a question about this real quick. Now, can those bolt right onto the current gearboxes? Like if I wanted to put them in my dune racer, or how does it work?
So these will use, we have motor mounts that we have for the old 775 motors, motor mounts that we are making new motor mounts for these, because the motor mount needs to have is a different size. But yeah, you'll basically just put an aluminum motor mount on here that goes into the gearbox, just like you did with your other ones. The user won't notice any different if you don't, if you own the old mounts, you are going to need to buy new mounts. But other than that, they'll bolt right onto cars.
And I guess my next question would be, why go with those over the 550 motors? More speed, more power?
Motors, yeah, 550 motors are actually, they're designed for originally 12 volts. We went through a lot of work to get a 550 motor that's fast and 18 to 20 volts. But they really don't do 24 volts. The only reason they do 24 volts in some cars, like some cars come with 24 volt 550s, they call them, is the motors are so retarded back, they're basically half the power of a 12 volt 550. And that's why when you buy a 24 volt car, it still goes the same speed as a 12 volt car. So realistically, these are not good for 24 volts. These guys, you can run them at 12 volt. They're going to be slower than a stock motor. At 18 volt, they're still, your 18 volt stock motor is going to burn up. These won't burn up, but they still won't give you the same speed. These guys are designed for 24 volts and up. You just need a bigger motor, and that also gives you 4 times more torque. For those of you that are into off-roading or the smash-up derby, the torque is the power to push the wheel, and that's what you want when you're in the dirt or in high grass, tough terrain. You want a motor that's not going to bog down on you.
Sweet. Makes sense to me. And pretty bolt on once you get the new motor mount. No issue with space inside the gearbox no, because even in my dune race, there's a lot of space where we can
these
put
are the same dimensions other than that ball bearing as your other 775s.
All right. And also we have some new products on the website. Let me bring up the first one right here. Let me get you out of the way. Hold on. Let's get back to our normal section. And here we go. We have the Power Wheels Barbie, Power Wheels ATV. Sorry.
Oh, it says ATV. No, it should say Barbie Camper. We just launched that page yesterday. Clearly, I got to put a little edit on there. So this is the Barbie Campers. We didn't advertise modifications for them for a long time for 2 reasons. One, they are a little more top heavy than other cars. So you got to be careful when you modify these for speed, because you don't want them to fall over just like a real camper. The other issue, the bigger issue, is this was one of only a couple of cars that Power Wheels made that has a circuit board in it and an electronic shifter and gas pedal, not mechanical analog like the other ones were. As soon as you put bigger motors, or not bigger motors, but bigger batteries, increase the voltage, the stock circuit board blows. Honestly, the stock circuit board was blowing when the car was stock. So the car is no longer made, and people are blowing the stock boards and need a way to keep the car running. So we decided to put together packages, and so we now offer motor gearbox assemblies for this car, and also the electronic speed controller. If you do want to increase your voltage on this car at all, you have to replace the speed controller with our electronic speed controller. That upgrades options section there all explains what parts you need for the different voltages you may want to run, whether you're going to do a lithium battery, SLA battery, 18, 20, 24 volt. We have all the combinations for the Barbie camper now.
I didn't even know that existed till I saw that. That's actually pretty cool.
It's a cute, fun toy. I don't know why you'd want to make it faster. Well, we want to make school buses faster, so why not?
For sure, for sure. You know, we can't leave nothing alone. Nothing alone. All right, and up next you have the racing part of the website here.
Yeah, this came a lot in response to our trip to Rockingham. You'll see now on there all the different parts that you need to make an outlaw or modified drag car. You can get them all now on our site in one spot at the same pricing you'd get them anywhere else, but you only have to do one shipping charge, and it's all right there. Also, if you click on one of them, click on that heavy duty solenoid, and you'll see we've added an image. Yep, look at so we've added for you guys a nice parts wiring diagram to convert a car to modified setup. So it's a lot very clean, easy to follow setup on there. It's really not hard to do at all. So we're kind of happy to support the community with providing these parts. We're really not making much money at all on them. Like I said, we're basically just giving you one place to get everything that you need, one-stop shop.
Awesome. Always innovative. You've been a busy man. Maybe have a chat. You're like, I'm busy. And that's good, man. And it's like I said, I really am glad that you're getting into the drag racing side of things. I've had a lot of people approach me about coming on the podcast, which is great. I'm gonna get to you guys. Don't worry. I have a busy schedule of recording before I start traveling here. But I want to also thank you, Alan, for all your time and all making this happen as well. And anything else you want to add before we move on? Wow, end this podcast.
No, we're still be more. We'll be doing another one of these with more new products soon.
Absolutely. You can check out all these products on mltoys.com. We have a coupon code Power Wheels. You save 10% on that. That helps us out a lot as well, and you save some money. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, ML Toys, for all your support. And stay powered up with ML Toys. And hit that sub, like, and notification button on the Power Wheels podcast and share it, because we want to help this podcast grow and spread the love of Power Wheels modification. From Lefty and Alan, we're out.